That is right, my friends. You tuned in to America's Home for Conservative Not Bitter Talk, and yes, I am your host, Todd Huff. And we're going to go through this Biden speech from yesterday, play some of it, talk about it, go through it. The good, the bad, and the ugly, I suppose, right? So that's what I want to do today. I guess before we do that, though, I want to talk a little bit about just, what's going on. What's going on in the nation of Afghanistan, and it's truly tragic. Now, there's a lot of pieces of this to sift through, right? There's the mismanagement of the troops leaving and what has transpired almost in, proverbial minutes after we, made the final moves. We've got the whole concept of nation building, why we were engaged in that in the first place. Is that something we even should have been doing? Why we were in Afghanistan to begin with, who the Taliban is, what's going on, the condition of the lives of people in the nation of Afghanistan and what that means for people, especially women and young girls, what that means for the drastic change. You've seen probably by now, the CNN, I don't know, the field reporter, I don't even know who it was at the moment. There's just so much information. But on Sunday, she's reporting from somewhere in Afghanistan. I don't know if it was Kabul or where, without a hijab on. And then on Monday, she has one on. She's hearing chants of death to America. And she's confused because she said the people seem peaceful or something. Just kind of nonsensical gibberish like this. But of course, that's what's happening at CNN, or through the lens at CNN. Anyway, there's lots to unpack here, and I thought the best way to do this was by listening and talking through Biden's speech. With some people, Nicole Wallace acts like this is the greatest speech given by, an American president ever, more or less. Nicole Wallace, I don't know. The perspective and the judgment, and I don't know. That's she didn't used to be, at least I didn't think back in the Bush years, this maybe delusional, but I don't know. I guess working in MSNBC will do that to you for all I know. But I'm gonna play this. I want to play this. I want to talk about parts of this. This is Biden addressing
into the East Room of the White House. Here's the president.
That have taken place
people
in the last
yesterday,
week, and the steps we're taking to address the rapidly evolving events. My national security team and I have been closely monitoring the situation on the ground in Afghanistan and moving quickly to execute the plans we had put in place to respond to every constituency, including and contingency.
Yeah, that's contingency, Joe. By the way, I see people on Twitter making fun of Trump, which you got to laugh. He's reading from a teleprompter and the word Yosemite comes up and he can't get it right. And people act as though that he can't pass a cognitive test because he can't pronounce Yosemite. Biden over here is saying constituency, and the word is contingency. These things happen, right? These things happen when you are reading from a teleprompter. The amount of words that these folks have to say in a given day is a lot. Okay, so just because someone slips up and mispronounces a word doesn't mean anything. Of course, there's a lot more going on there with Biden. I think it's worth pointing out. I also want to point out, I don't know if you've seen this, but there are people, there's these detective sleuth-like folks on Twitter, and they're saying Biden, they don't really think Biden was at Camp David. Now, I'm not saying he was or wasn't, but there are things that they have picked out from the photo of Biden sitting there in this, I guess, the Situation Room, the War Room, by himself, big empty room, just him. And some clever folks have photoshopped. My wife showed me a Photoshop picture of Biden. They had put Hunter Biden shirtless, smoking some illegal substance in one of the chairs. And then, I don't know if you've seen the one of the workers for, someone else from the Biden administration that has been on Twitter as well was sitting there. So those sorts of things are happening on Twitter. But Twitter also says, look, the time zones on the clocks on the television are not accurate, meaning the time difference between Moscow, I forget the two cities, Moscow and some other place, it's supposed to be 3 hours this time of year, and it's only 2. And the time difference between Iran and somewhere else is supposed to be an hour and a half this time of year, and it's only 30 minutes. And the time change happened March 9th or some such date, and so some people are saying he's not really there. This has been photoshopped. I'm just saying that this is the kind of stuff that happens. It is at least a bit suspicious that the War Room would not know the times of cities around the world, which that's one of the things you're supposed to be able to do is just look up and see, oh man, this is the time we're dealing with. It's about to be dawn, or it's the sun setting soon. That's going to have an impact on events. To be able to fluidly just have those conversations, and it's not right, not by dramatic amounts, but something is wrong. Of course, with the government today, I'm surprised they get anything right. But that's just a side note. But people are asking where Biden even is. He came out yesterday, gave a speech, wouldn't answer any questions, and went back to CNN's calling it a retreat. Can you imagine if Trump did this? Again, you can imagine, and it wouldn't be treated any way the same as it is. It wouldn't be treated the same way as it is, for Biden. Nothing would be remotely close to the same. But anyhow, there is some question about that, and people think that he's somewhere else. I'm not suggesting I think that. I'm just sharing because it is peculiar that those times would be wrong in the War Room, wherever he was.
Rapid collapse we're seeing now. I'll speak more in a moment about the specific steps we're taking, but I want to remind everyone how we got here and what America's interests are in Afghanistan.
That's right. This is important.
We went to Afghanistan almost 20 years ago with clear goals. Get those who attacked us on September 11th, 2001.
Correct. That's right.
And make sure al-Qaeda could not use Afghanistan as a base from which to attack us again.
This was accurate.
We did that.
Okay.
We severely degraded al-Qaeda in Afghanistan.
True.
We never gave up the hunt for Osama bin Laden, and we got him. That was a decade ago. Our mission in Afghanistan was never supposed to have been nation building. It was never supposed to be creating a unified, centralized democracy. Our only vital national interest in Afghanistan remains today what it has always been: preventing a terrorist attack on America's homeland.
Okay, let's pause there. I don't disagree with this, okay? But it also is not necessarily as cut and dry, and there's other factors here that are being glossed over. So, for starters, he's right. The reason we went to Afghanistan almost 20 years ago was because of 9/11, which, by the way, was the worst terrorist attack, the worst attack on this country in modern history. I mean, there's nothing like it. Pearl Harbor, back on December 7th, 1941, was comparable, very comparable as far as just the amount of damage and death inflicted on this nation on one day. That was conducted by warplanes, Japanese Zeros, attacking the island of Oahu and other places in the Hawaiian Islands, but particularly Pearl Harbor, and taking out our naval base and most of our battleships and naval assets in the Pacific, so that they could run free and without having any interference from the United States in the South Pacific as they took over islands and expanded the evil empire of Japan. That's what was happening in those days. 9/11 was something that was conducted by a group of terrorists, a group of terrorists, and led by Osama bin Laden, and they were training in Afghanistan. This was the home base. Afghanistan was the home base, right? And for those that want to compare 9/11 to January 6th, it is completely absurd, absolutely ridiculous. It is not even remotely comparable, the two things. They don't even deserve to be anywhere in the same universe, discussion, anything of the sorts. These things are two totally different things. Now, again, not justifying anything in particular that happened on January. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm simply saying they're not comparable. We've just been through this recently where people want to say that January 6th was worse, than September 11th. That is completely and utterly false. It is beyond laughable to suggest that. So anyway, we did go to Afghanistan for the purposes Biden just spoke about here. We went to Afghanistan to basically eradicate al-Qaeda, break up their network, their infrastructure, go after their leadership, go after their membership, whatever they called themselves, these terrorists, and bring them to justice, take care of them, ultimately going after bin Laden himself, who, by the way, by the time we captured him, was operating a few miles away from a army base. I think it was Army, a military base in Pakistan. Thank you, Bob Obama, for teaching me how to say that. So this is accurate. It's more complicated, though, because here's what we learned. So you're forced with the decision. You go in, you stabilize the country, or you go after the terrorists. You also, in the process, realize that the reason that these folks Al-Qaeda is being able to operate freely is because the Taliban doesn't really care. The Taliban is not a good group of people themselves. They're not necessarily directly involved in terrorism against the United States of America, but they are terrorizing and abusing their own people. And they don't really care. Who knows? I mean, they're not friends of the United States. They just want to create Sharia law. They want to rule with a caliphate. They want to make women subjected to these to their wishes and demands over there. This is not a good group of people. And so when we come to realize if we leave and create this void, the Taliban's going to take back over, and it's going to be a repeat of what we just had. And so you have this tension. And I'm not arguing one way or the other. I'm just trying to explain that there's a real conversation. It's not as though, I'm sure someone got there and thought, hey, since we're here, let's go ahead and build this nation up in a way that's, more westernized. And I understand the allure to that, because if you can have places in the Middle East or in that general region of the world that are open and accepting to freedom, which is how all humans, by the way, every human is created to be free. I don't buy this notion that says, oh, these people, this group of people, that group of people don't want freedom. I mean, did you see the people that were chasing the airplane, the military aircraft down the tarmac? Did you see that there were people that were on that aircraft as it took off? Two of them, it appears, they were from a very, very high altitude, had fallen off the aircraft and to their deaths. Just to get out of Afghanistan. You've probably seen or heard by now reports of women elected officials in Afghanistan. I saw one, I think, on Fox. There's just so, I've been deluged with information. I think it was on Fox. One of these women legislators in Afghanistan was talking about being afraid for her life. You have interpreters and their families who are afraid for their lives because the Taliban is back in charge and they want to go find the people that were helping the Americans. There's reports that they're going door to door trying to find out who they were, who these folks are. And I mean, it's unspeakable what is perhaps waiting for the folks that they either believe were helping the Americans or the folks that really were helping the Americans or some combination. It's unspeakable. These are real people. These are real people facing real oppression. And my wife said last night, she's exactly right. She's like, I think about these Olympic athletes that think that this country is truly oppressive. And we look and we see people hanging onto an airplane to escape that country because they do not want to be subjected to the Taliban. It is that horrific. It is that people would willingly hang on. I just think about that. There's no chance of survival if you grab onto an airplane that's going to go cruising to 30 or 40,000 feet. Even if you do somehow manage to hang on to an aircraft at whatever, 500-600 knots or whatever it's going. If you're able to do that, even to hang on, but at those altitudes, there's not enough oxygen. I mean, it's that hopeless. That is what folks are willing to do to escape that. And yes, there are legitimate questions about what we were doing, why we were there for that long. But then again, there's another part of me that says, that clearly knows this wasn't the best way. There is no way that this is the best way to leave this. This is an unmitigated dumpster fire. It is destroying the lives of people over in Afghanistan that were told and that were taught to trust the Americans. And we just completely abandoned them. Again, I'm not saying we should have been engaged in eternal conflict over there, but why was there no other solution? I mean, Biden presents as his speech unfolds as almost a straw man that says we either stayed here and fought this war forever or we left today the way that we did. It seems to me that the way human logic demands that there's probably hundreds of other options besides those two. Why couldn't we have maintained a presence? Should we have? I mean, is that preferable to this? Is this not going to, lead to the same thing we had in the late 90s and early 2000s when they were allowing al-Qaeda to operate from here? How is this in the best interest of the United States? In order to get our troops out, we're actually now sending more there. Does this make sense? I mean, it's one big colossal mess and failure. That we can agree upon. There's no other way. There's no other way to look at this. Biden kind of tries to blow it under the bridge and say, well, this no matter when we left, this is what was going to happen. From the people who everything is based upon optics, right? To the people who before they'll talk behind stage without their masks on, and right before they come out, will put it on. I saw some guy do this the other day. Was standing there without a mask, put his mask on for 5 seconds as he walked out, and then took his mask off at the podium. I think I retweeted that video. I don't even know who it was, some official. For a group that is this focused on optics, to act like, this is going to happen anyway. Then why'd you say a couple days ago that there was no way? A couple weeks ago, 300,000 Afghan army was going to protect the nation and they were going to hold firm in all this. What happened to that? Lots of questions, lots to discuss. I'm long in this segment. Quick time out. Listening to Conservative Not Better Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Care to change. And Interior Construction Services by visiting supportouradvertisers.com today.
Are you looking for reliable advice on real estate investing? Then you should start listening to the Homeboys. Clint and Scott have over 40 years of real estate investing experience that they use to educate and guide their listeners. Listen and learn from their experiences to maximize your real estate investment strategy. You can find the Homeboys podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or watch them on YouTube. That's the Homeboys podcast. They can show you how to get started and reach your real estate investment goals.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today, providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price. Our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create, on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place in time. Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. Crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
If you're thinking of buying or selling a home, call my good friend Scott Veerkamp. Scott and his team have been helping people with their real estate needs since 1992, and he has sold literally thousands of homes for good families just like yours. For all your real estate needs, call Scott Veerkamp today at 317-979-4663. That's 979-HOME. There is plenty to worry about these days. If you're working with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual, your retirement and financial security doesn't need to be one of them. Blake is a time-tested financial advisor with over 20 years of experience at Northwestern Mutual. For an independent review of your financial planning needs, call Blake and mention the Todd Huff Show for a free initial consultation. Call 317-215-8322 or visit blakehornsby.com. Invest in your peace of mind with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525. or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
Weddings, reunions, business, church, or family retreats, Indiana Paradise Retreat is a hidden gem located right here in central Indiana. With over 11,000 square feet, a theater, gym, sauna, hot tub, pool, stocked lakes, and even an on-site event hangar, we have just the place for your next event. Find us on Airbnb, VRBO, or just search for Indiana Paradise Retreat. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Welcome back, my friends. Again, I take no pleasure in this. I know that for some people, and you know people like this is an opportunity to I don't know, for the side that you don't like to have a political loss or whatever, right? And I do not look at it like this. These are real people. This is our country. This is what we've been contending and dealing with, or trying to have a solution to, or work ourselves through for 20 years in Afghanistan. And this is truly sad. And it is clear, 100% clear, that this migration, or that's not the right word, that this departure from Afghanistan was completely and utterly mismanaged. It was. And I'm not saying you can say that even if you believe we shouldn't have been there, even if you believe we should have left, maybe we should have been there originally and left decades ago, or a decade ago after we got bin Laden. Whatever your thinking is, the way that this happened was disastrous, and people are paying the price for this. It's just awful. And again, I fully understand. I'm not making the case that America should be, we cannot fix everybody's problems in the world. That's not at all what I'm saying either. But I think we can look at this and say, surely there's some middle ground between, we're there, right? We're there for reasons that I think people looking back in time would have said that was what we had to do in 2001. We had to go and destroy these terrorists where they were before they started bringing the fight more to the United States. We had to eradicate, drive them out, get them out of drive them out of the caves, expose them, go after them, take them out, figure out who they were working with, take them out, right? That's what we did. I don't think that we had to do that. I think we had to do that. I don't think there was any other solution, is what I'm saying. And that was, these situations, they turn messy because there's so much history and so much, my goodness, the problems with the Taliban and the rationale and the reasoning and the things that they want to do, the way that they govern, take over the lives of people, again, particularly women, and the things that the people that live under the rule of the Taliban are subjected to. This is not good stuff. It gets messy. And then you start asking yourself, well, if these people rule again, and this is really what they believe, even though they're not openly and actively engaged in terrorism against the United States, is this not going to send us right back to that position? Maybe we can empower the Afghan people. This was the thinking. Again, I'm not justifying it. I'm just simply saying it's understandable in some capacity to think, okay, now we've got to figure out a way to prevent this country, making this country hate us, right? Because if they hate us, if they, at least, maybe that's not the way to say it, allow this country the opportunity to truly be free and to elect the type of people it wants running its government, instead of making them subjected to people who are hell-bent on instituting Sharia law, antiquated ways of living, evil. Instead of having that and then creating pockets where Al-Qaeda can freely operate, because the Taliban is understanding to Al-Qaeda, because they're just taking Sharia law to the next level and they're going after the great Satan. So there's a point to where we understand, or we should understand, what's going on there and why decisions were made without necessarily justifying them completely. Likewise, I understand why we're out of Afghanistan, but what I cannot get my head around, and I don't think any reasonable person can, is how that went down and how on earth it can be this bad so quickly. I saw Clay Travis tweeted something out. How could the experts be this wrong in Afghanistan, right? Biden was up there 5-6 weeks ago telling us how there was really nothing to worry about. This was not going to happen. we were not going to evacuate our embassy like we did in Saigon, Vietnam in whatever it was, the mid-70s. 75, I think. Said that wasn't going to happen. If you see the pictures of the helicopter evacuation, it literally almost looks truly exactly the same. You could tell someone that was the same photo from the same location, and they would probably believe that it was true. It quite literally looked exactly the same. There's no easy answers here, but the first thing is we have to admit that we royally screwed up here. We royally screwed up here, and there are major consequences as a result. People that have worked hand in hand with our military whose lives are now in jeopardy. Who knows? I mean, some of them may have already been captured. I'm not saying that that's the truth, but it is certainly a possibility. People doing their best to get on airplanes and get out of there, hanging on to airplanes to avoid being subjected to the rule of tyrants. I mean, really, that's what we're dealing with. People will do anything to get out of that situation. Hanging on to airplanes. And we believe, not you and I, but there are people that believe that America is the problem with the world. Give me a freaking break. You're not serious. You're just not serious if you're saying that. You have no understanding or no empathy towards your fellow human being if you think that this country is anywhere remotely. It infuriates me, folks, to think that. The level of hatred or programming or just a lack of critical thinking to where someone believes this place, this United States of America, is anywhere remotely as bad as much of the world is. If you don't want to think America is the greatest nation, okay, fine. I think you're wrong. I think it's demonstrably obvious that America is. But okay, we're not talking about number one. We're talking about the most evil. And America is nowhere near the conversation as to what, whether it's the number one country. You got places like Iran and North Korea and Afghanistan under the leadership of the Taliban and Pakistan. And I mean, you've got Cuba, Venezuela. I mean, give me China, the Soviet Union, heck, even Russia. I mean, today we have people fleeing, Burma. It's not living in reality. It's people who have been, I don't know, just fed a line by these radical professors or something because it's nonsensical. Can I take a break? By the way, program brought to you in part by our friends at Interior Construction Services. Competitive prices. They have residential, commercial construction services. You can check them out on their website, interiorconstruct.com, interiorconstruct.com, or call them, 317-991-4660, located in Indianapolis, servicing the central Indiana region, 317-991-4660. Interiorconstruct.com is their website. Quick timeout, back here in just a minute.
Enrollment in Todd's conservative, not bitter university is now open. For a limited time, save $10 on Todd's first course, A Christian's Guide to Being a Patriot. For more information or to enroll, visit conservativenotbitter.com. Sponsored in part by Workforce Chaplains. Could your business or organization benefit from the services of a professional team of chaplains? Meet the needs of your employees and foster an excellent work environment with Workforce Chaplains. For more information, visit workforcechaplains.com today.
Are you looking to purchase waterproof flooring for your home? Did you know it's as easy as typing rnrproducts.com/Todd in your search engine for a great deal on our core tech line? Since 1971, R&R Products has provided brand name products at an affordable price to the listening area. Call 317-745-5794 or go online to rnrproducts.com/Todd. R&R Products. We make your flooring experience easy and affordable.
Let's face it, moving is stressful. That's why Jones Movers, a family-owned business for over 40 years, is here to help. Our team is ready to help and respond quickly to your questions. We can handle local and out-of-state moves. which means we can move your items to wherever your pin drops on the map. We also offer self-storage units for furniture and items you need a place for. Go to jonesmovers.com to get things moving today, or visit our Facebook page, Jones Movers.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
The compassion of Christ. It's living life connecting to the broken and messy world. It's not simply walking down the street and dropping a quarter in someone's bucket. It's been perverted by Satan from biblical compassion to feeling sorry for, and sympathy isn't where God wants us to live. It's connecting to broken people in our daily life, living the compassion of Christ.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
Fireplaces can be beautiful and even essential in heating some homes. But did you know they could be dangerous to your family if not properly maintained? Chimneys need to be cleaned and inspected annually. My family and I had Smalling Masonry inspect ours. They are friendly, informative, on time, and helped us use our wood-burning stove more efficiently. Call Christian-owned Smalling Masonry today at 317-903-8121 and mention my name, Todd Huff, for a 15% off chimney inspection and sweep. How would you like to get a $1,000 bonus after just 3 months on the job? Sound good? If so, Wallace Construction is ready to hire you today. They're a family-owned business with 45 years experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. Call 317-422-5356 to find out more about this $1,000 bonus opportunity. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356. Be sure to tell them Todd sent you.
You're busy. At Citizens Bank, we know your time is precious. That's why we're bringing a full-service branch to Stones Crossing for all your home, commercial, and personal banking needs. Looking to open an account, get assistance from your mortgage and commercial lenders, or just make all banking transactions right from your car? We can make it easy for you. Visit our new branch at 1767 West Stones Crossing Road. Citizens Bank. More bank for your buck.
Welcome back, my friends. So let's go back to some of this speech. I just want to play and talk through parts of this speech. He blames Trump in this speech as well. Also says the buck stops here with him. I've learned Biden likes to talk like the tough guy, right? Like he did with the corn pop stories. Man, my favorite stories of Biden. If he could just I tell you what, if we could remove all power from him and just have him tell corn pop stories, I could be down with that. I could listen to this guy talk about the legend of corn pop all day because it's entertaining. And of course, it probably never happened, but it's still entertaining and it's harmless at that point. Maybe we could get him a Netflix series or something like that talking about Biden and the legend of corn pop. I could be down with that. But letting this guy run the free world is something altogether different. And there are consequences for, well, I say elections. And of course, that opens a whole other can of worms that I don't want to go into this morning because like it or not, he's the president. He's the one that's, calling the shots right now. I'm not saying that, don't read any more into that. I'm just simply saying this is the reality that we're dealing with. And we're going to have to figure this out and hold these folks accountable and replace them with adults. But here Biden is continuing his speech on Afghanistan.
I've argued for many years that our mission should be narrowly focused on counterterrorism, not counterinsurgency or nation building. That's why I opposed the surge when it was proposed in 2009 when I was vice president. And that's why, as president, I'm adamant we focus on the threats we face today in 2021, not yesterday's threats. Today, the terrorist threat has metastasized well beyond Afghanistan. Al-Shabaab in Somalia, Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, al-Nusra in Syria, ISIS attempting to create a caliphate in Syria and Iraq, and establishing affiliates in multiple countries in Africa and Asia. These threats warrant our attention.
Can we pause there? The last time we really heard about ISIS, when was that? Remember ISIS at the end of the Obama administration was running wild? They literally had parts of nations under their control. I've said before on this program that if we drew maps at that point in time, we would have had to have drawn a map of Syria or of Iraq that said, this really isn't Syria, this is ISIS. This little territory right here belongs to ISIS. The people that are beheading people like it's sport, executing people, trying to execute people in new ways so that it gets viewed on YouTube and that. I mean, they were having like Hollywood-type productions. I mean, it looked like trailers to movies. Some of these folks trained in Western film courses and so forth. I mean, the production value of this stuff was high quality. I mean, they're complete animals and barbarians and evil scum of the earth, but they had people that were putting together high quality trailers of their atrocities and wickedness, trying to recruit more people, recruiting people from the United States. Remember, young kids, young adults, whatever, young people getting on planes, jumping off of somewhere in Europe, making their way into into ISIS, and some of them shockingly found out it just wasn't that appealing when they got there. They wanted out of it. Forced marriages and all this kind of stuff. I mean, just disgusting, brutal, horrible stuff. And then lo and behold, again, what a coincidence. What a magnificent coincidence. President Trump came into office, and guess what? ISIS was eradicated again. Now, again, it is just so maddening to me to look at we've always lived in a tumultuous world. There bad things can happen on anybody's watch as leader of the free world. But it's something different when you are the factor that makes it what it is. And that is candidly what I think's been going on under this administration. This was completely mismanaged. They have a history of, watching terrorists rise in power. ISIS is I would say, the most recent example. And now the Taliban, which I would say, while they may not be engaged in global terrorism, exporting terrorism to take down the great Satan, which is, of course, the United States in their warped perspective, they still engage in terrorism locally. They rule by Sharia law, and they will do whatever it takes to get the political outcome that they want, torturing, killing, terrifying people that they have under their control. They do not have a good track record. They became buddies with Al-Qaeda, and now they're back in control. What could possibly go wrong? It is just sad. It is sad. It was avoidable. This did not have to be the way that it was, no matter what Biden and his speechwriters try to convince us of. And look, there were things with this speech that I did agree with. There were things that I thought he's got points here. But you know what? What it comes down to is that this transition was completely, atrociously mismanaged. And I've got to take a break. Back here in just a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Ward's Apparel, Edwards Equipment, and Indiana Wooded Paradise Retreat by visiting supportouradvertisers.com today.
Remember how hot it was last summer? I was sweating our AC bills, so we replaced our system. We took advantage of Commercial Services' 72-month special financing. We have no interest after we pay in full within 72 months. No more embarrassing sweaty t-shirts. So if you want commercial-grade service for your home, give Commercial Service a call today.
Subject to credit approval. Call Commercial Service for details at 812-339-9114 or online at commercialservice.com.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
Really quickly, here's Biden blaming Trump for what's going on. Not surprising.
Came into office, I inherited a deal that President Trump negotiated with the Taliban.
Mm-hmm.
Under his agreement, U.S. forces would be out of Afghanistan by May 1, 2021.
Okay.
Just a little over 3 months after I took office. U.S. forces had already drawn down during the Trump administration from roughly 15,500 American forces to 2,500 troops in country.
Mm-hmm. Was anything happening
and
in
the
May?
Taliban was at its strongest militarily since 2001. The choice I had to make as your president
Here we go.
was either to follow through on that agreement or be prepared to go back to fighting the Taliban in the middle of the spring fighting season. There would have been no ceasefire after May 1. There was no agreement protecting our forces after May 1. There was no status quo of stability without a...
I just got to stop for the sake of time, but I mean, that's the I'm surprised he didn't say, we either had to follow Trump's plan or go to nuclear war, as though there's no other option here on the table. To me, it just seems like there has to be something else. Inexcusable how this transpired. Got to take a break. Back in a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Gray Brothers Cafeteria, R&R Products, and Reformation by supporting supportouradvertisers.com today.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Has it been a while since your last eye checkup? Has your eyesight changed? At Best Insight Eye Care, they keep an eye on your vision. Their doctors use the most advanced technology and eye care products available. At Best Insight, you will find professionals who genuinely care about you and are dedicated to providing exceptional service. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase. Schedule your appointment at the Southeast Side, Indianapolis, or New Palestine locations by visiting bestinsighteyecare.com or calling 317-782-4000 to get the best insight.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
When life is hard for the women you care about, there is help with issues such as widowhood, anxiety, depression, or abuse. They don't have to go through it alone. Peace Restored is there to walk with women through the journey. Peace Restored helps women through free mentoring, counseling, and education. When life is hard, Peace Restored is there to help women you care about find hope and healing. To learn more, visit peacerestored.net.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with zero body fillers, zero painting, and zero diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? There is a cure. With the Pro-Life Health Plan, your savings could be as much as 60%. The Pro-Life Health Plan allows you to enjoy the freedom of choosing any doctor, any hospital, anywhere. And their enrollment is open year-round. Just give Eric a call at 888-448-5370 or visit them online at isellhealth.com. Better coverage at a better cost.
Welcome back. This situation in Afghanistan, we've got a long way to go in seeing how we navigate through this, and hopefully the United States will do the right thing here and protect those interpreters and those folks who had been helping this nation over the past 20 years from facing consequences. I don't know what to think about this. Of course, this brings back, in some ways, I'm not saying it's the same thing at all, but it just reminds me of how they at least covered up or changed course or tried to make it look like something different in Benghazi. Their first reaction is to cover it up politically, so hopefully it doesn't get any worse. Folks, I got to go. SDG. See you tomorrow. Take care.
Stop by the Canby Smoke Shop. Our new store location at 8411 Windfall Lane in Canby has a wide selection of tobacco, hookahs, glass, vape, and vape juice. If you mention Todd's name, we'll give you 10% off on your first purchase. Until the end of August, we have a special on disposable vapes that is buy one, get one free. We look forward to serving you. That's the Canby Smoke Shop. Great pricing, great selection.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.